for this one. Drinks down, man up, circle round, stand up, pimps up, hands down, beat 'em up, man down. Drinks down, man up, circle round, stand up, pimps up, hands down, beat 'em up, man down. No hands in the air, no need for pumping your fist. No hands in the air, no need for pumping your fist. No hands in the air, no need for pumping your fist. Let that man tear the roof off, jump in the pit. Jump in the pit.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to yet another month, another round of monthly ranked pit battles live stream with your host Peter, aka LPD Dubuque. I hope you guys have been enjoying yourselves. I am currently sitting here by myself with lovely Mountain Dew Baja Blast and one of my dogs, and it is a lovely evening. I certainly hope all of you have enjoyed yourselves on your 4th of July weekend. I have been somewhat enjoying my weekend. The only thing I had to worry about was my dogs from freaking out due to fireworks that were going on all over the place. as much as I do let people enjoy celebrating their holiday, the reason why I can't leave my house on on the holidays, because when there's fireworks, I have to be here for my dogs. Otherwise, they, you know, just not a good thing to do. That's the case. So, what has been going on this month? Holy crap! June has just been crazy. I mean, I've just been really busy. I had to pretty much put the video on the back burner for this month because of just how much doctor's appointments I had to take my husband to. There was just so much drive time that I had to commit to that, like, by the time I would get home, I would just be exhausted and pass out. Basically what happens when you are approaching middle age or in your middle age right now. So, however, I can certainly tell you that this month in terms of pit battles has been an interesting one. We have a total of 6 matches this month. We only had 5 last month, but we got 6 this month. So, keeping up, this is, of course, the summer season. What has been going on is that we have a lot of festivals that take place. For anyone who doesn't really know, that is basically you have things like Lost Lands, Electric Forest, you know, these big type of festivals that happen. EDC also happens around this time of the year as well. Reason. So, while I would certainly say last year it was pretty quiet, this year has been monotonous better. Certainly say that. Double check my notes here real quick to confirm that, just in case. I could always be wrong. Go see what last season showed us from March. We had a pretty decent one, I think. Okay, so yeah, June last year only had 3, and one of them was WWG. That was a pit battle that happened in WWE. So certainly say having 6 this one, we doubled from last year. That's good. I'm actually glad to see that. Also really excited to see how these matches are going, because we got a pretty great lineup. First of all, somebody actually challenged Monkey, and I'm happy to see her showing up and getting in here. Always enjoyed watching her flow. Always great to see. So we'll definitely have Pop-Up versus her. And then we got a Tourmaline versus Limit match. We also got Gabagool versus BMO. It's going to be very interesting. Excited about that one. As well as we actually got Flack and Stack making a return, going up against Quantum. Super excited about that. And of course, surprise, not only do we get 1, but we get 2 of Danny Phantom has returned. So we get 2 matches, Danny in it. Should probably actually play one of those beforehand. That way it mixes them up, so we're not getting two shows of Danny right off the bat. I think that's a pretty good idea. Yeah. Go ahead and do that movie. Other than that, I have, since we started July, I did tell myself that I was going to work on my video, which I have been doing. Definitely wanted to give that kind of heads up that I have been working on my video. Sorry. What happens when we do some technical difficulties, make some adjustments. Here. Okay. So the lineup, how I have it set up now, is that we're going to have Monkey versus Pop-Pop, then we're going to have Tourmaline versus Limit. Then we'll have Ripple Effect versus Danny Phantom. Then we'll have Gabagool versus Bimo. Then Quantum versus Flackenstack, and then round it off with Danny Phantom versus Pop Pop. So we get a couple of people showing up twice, which is okay. We're showing how things move up and down. Okay, just want to make sure that we have that all lined up, and let me get us set back to where we need to be. I am all set up on stage. How it did. Alright. Got that taken care of. Cool. Really excited about that. So let's now go ahead and take a quick look at the list. So, see what we got going on here. Right. So just to remind everybody of the updated call out list. Of course, unlisted challengers, you get to choose from anywhere from spot 17 to spot 24. People of that bracket gets to choose 6 spots ahead of themselves. Then 16 to 10 will get to choose 5 spots ahead of themselves, and of course ranked 9 to 2 get to call 3 spots ahead. So I would love to see how spot 2 and 3 are able to call 3 spots ahead. Just want to put that out. All right. I know I'm joshing you guys here. That's how it beats. That's how it beats. But yes, all right. Of course, very simple to understand. If the challenger wins, the 2 switch, and if the challenger loses, they descend 3 spots. And if you are not on the list and you haven't been on the list before, you stay off the list. But if you were on the list and got bumped off the list, you land in a place called the graveyard, where you stay for the rest of the season. Of course, everything gets cleared out at the end of the season, so got going on there. But all right, I don't think I need to waste any more of anyone's time here. Yeah, we can jump right into it and get on board. Anyway, so like I said, we're going to be starting off with a lovely pit battle between a Monkey versus Pop Pop. Really excited about this because I like seeing Monkey showing up. Really great stuff for her. And of course, we're going to start with her. So without further ado, Monkey, please show us what you got. Okay. That's just some weird sequencing going. Okay, see what we got going on. Interesting stuff. I will certainly say that right now. One of the things I definitely want to point out is I really, again, the sequencing that she was pulling off was absolutely astounding. All honest. Interesting song and lyrics. Overall, really enjoyable. It just, the flow through that was just really smooth. We were just going from one chain to the next. Absolutely excellent. Excellent. I I get on people's cases about overlaying. That's just me though. I know people who can overlay music with their videos using their phone. I mean, something that we all carry. Yeah, no, overall though, I'm really excited to see how that turned out. I really enjoyed a lot of the stuff, especially like the causal sequencing where we're actually like removing things and getting into other shapes. Very classic morphing principles going on there. So overall, Monkey, absolutely excellent show. So the question now comes down to whether or not pop-up shows does any better. We're gonna go ahead and find out right now. So please, without further ado, pop-up, show us what you got. Ah, you non-overlaying spines, I swear. Just want to point this out, if you have time to put on titles, you have time to Okay. Nice creature concept. Okay. Alright, so here's something I will certainly say. Watching pop-up throw shows and pit battles for this season, really, and see consistently throwing shows, I find it just fascinating that he is able to pull a lot of this stuff off very cleanly. He has concepts, he has sequences. It's just at times I feel like we're just not listening to. So like technique and flow is there, but there's no musicality, or at least I feel like there's very minimal musicality. Again, this is why overlaying music is important in general, but saying here, it's just trying to understand that I really do feel like your movements, your techniques, your flow, your concepts are perfectly there. Like they're perfectly fine. You know, absolutely. I wouldn't say like the absolute cleanest, but they are extremely. You're very clean in your execution, right? So, like you know what you're throwing, you know what you're doing, you do it very well, but I can clearly see that there's no following of the music at all. I don't know if you guys think I'm crazy on that. Please let me know down in the comment section below. But it's just I'm very trying to understand where what are we thinking when we're doing this, because it's just like it seems like you tuned out the music to me. Music is not there. So but like I said, your transitions are good, your techniques are good, things are awesome, but it just did not follow anything in terms of what we were hearing. So I don't even want to call it a visualizer. It's active to music. Yeah. I honestly think we can probably sit here and say that pretty clear understanding who probably won this one on grounds of their musicality. Yeah, it was absolutely Monkey took that one. So congratulations to Monkey on that one. Way to maintain your position if you won that one. I think that's probably one of the big takeaways for Pop Up tonight. Just from that one video is like start to implement musicality, emphasize your movements to music. I mean, not just maintain to a tempo. That's what I felt like what was going on. I don't know, that's just my opinion. So but without further ado, let's go ahead and move on to the next match on this list, which is between Tourmaline and Limit. This one should be really interesting because if I remember correctly, I judged a good number of these battles. I believe this is one of the ones I judged. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it with Tourmaline and then follow up with Limit. But yeah, without further ado, Tourmaline, please show us what you got.
I get memories in my mind, in my mind, in my mind. Anytime I get on a wave, I get memories in my mind, in my mind, in my mind, in my mind. Memories.
That was nice.
In my mind, in my mind, in my mind. Anytime I get on a wave, I get. I get memories in my mind, in my mind, in my mind, in my mind. I get memories in my mind.
That's you pretty good.
In my mind, in my mind. Anytime I get on a wave, I get memories in my mind, in my mind, in my mind, in my mind. I get memories in my mind, in my mind.
Ooh, that was such a really nice use of space right there.
Anytime I get on a wave, I keep thinking about you, and I don't want to no more. I'm so addicted. So loca. Memories in my mind. I get memories in my mind. Anytime I get on a wave, I get. It just always on my mind. I get memories in my mind. In my mind.
Oof,
In my mind.
so good.
Anytime I get on a wave, I get memories in my mind. In my mind.
Okay. Yeah, so I really like this show from Tourmaline. I feel like this is one of his really stronger performances far. I mean, I think there could be a different form of emphasis with his movements in terms of his musicality, but he has a pretty good, strong understanding. I mean, he transitioned when he needed to transition. He slowed down with the song, really slowed down. I would certainly say like there was some pauses that he did, but didn't really expand into what he in terms of changing on certain parts of the song. But I feel like overall, like there was some really strong cleanliness and execution of. One other thing I also really want to point out is I really like how there's much more of an integrated clusters into somebody's shows, much more interwoven fashion. The best way I can describe this integration of his clusters. Like he really didn't sit there and like have a whole block out just like nothing but clusters and then like that's it. It was like no, he actually went in and out pretty fluidly between his clusters and his setups. And I really like how we're kind of having this hybridization of clusters into like the legacy of dial digit digital grid work. I mean, absolutely just excellent stuff. I feel like there was also really good use of space here as well. So there I can already say that the next one is like you can definitely tell like this was a different show, and clearly one person won over another based on major attributes that I don't think you can necessarily just call it the same. Oh, excuse me, sorry. But I guess we're just gonna have to find out. So next up is going to be Limit. So please, without further ado, Limit, show us what you got.
I ain't gonna lie to you, life's for fucking life and I need a night or two to get me unwinding. I feel like I'm stuck in cycles every day. Come and get me out this loop. So just switch it up for me. It's time to get loose. If we disconnect, we ain't gotta be in line. We can redirect everything that's on our minds. Let it go. Change up your frequency and you'll see how easily all this connect from everything that's on your mind. Disconnect from everything that's on your mind. Where's my fucking lighter crew? Put 'em up high then. Now's the time to raise the roof. We don't need the fighting. When we're getting stuck in cycles every day, we know how to make it through. So just switch it up for me. It's time to get loose. If we disconnect, we ain't gotta be in line. We can redirect everything that's on our minds. Let it go. Change up your frequency and you'll see how easily you'll disconnect from everything that's on your mind. Oh, let it go.
Okay. So this is a very clear example of what I say when it comes to like somebody who has a lot of strength in one category but weaknesses on others. The opponent has the opposite. So one of the things I would certainly say, like between Tourmaline's show and Limit's show, it is very clear who has showmanship and who doesn't. I would certainly say that I'm not there is a layer of showmanship with Tourmaline Show, but it doesn't exude to a 10 out of 10 level that Limit is able to pull off. This is what makes Limit's show so unique amongst many other people in the community, besides being a conjurer. And I just microphone, sorry about that. Is that Limit really learned how to cultivate his showmanship because it's one of his biggest strengths, right? And this is one of the things that when it comes to conjuring as well, you kind of have to have a high degree of showmanship to really pull it off. And it's because you have to practice the techniques that to pull off that style. When it comes to showing me your technique of your mode switches, yeah, this is god tier level stuff. Like, it's really, really intense. I didn't really catch any misclicks on that. I was paying close attention. I don't recall if I actually pointed that out in my judging video, which if you're not a part of the Pit Battles group, go join and you go watch it. I have it linked on there. This is where, like, it made it so difficult for me. And I even still kind of sit here to this day. It's like, okay, yeah, I see where some people stood, because the other thing I'll certainly say as well, it's like the techniques of the mode sequencing and stuff like that was really, really intense. But then our concepts didn't really kind of explore that. I think the showmanship allowed that to be carried through. So I feel like we had like two really strong attributes that the other person did not have. But the other person had strong attributes in like his concept diversity, and his transitioning and sequencing and stuff like that. Musicality, I think Limit also takes it in that regard, because Limit really played into the lyricality and but I would say he only has like a few more points over Tourmaline, but not much. At least percentage points wise. So it's one of these hits that makes it really difficult for us to sit here and like really determine like who won, because it's like these are so different. It's like really hard to compare them. It's like this is where I feel like a lot of people come to understand where certain shows that get thrown in pits, like it's comparing apples to oranges or apples to carrots, really, or even just like fruits to vegetables. It's not a Coke versus Pepsi type of discussion here. So I personally felt like as a pit battle show type deal, I felt like Tourmaline took it, but if I remember correctly, my notes tell me otherwise, because the other judges felt differently. But that's differences in opinion, and I'm totally okay with that. That shows a healthy environment when there's differences, as long as the discussion stays civil. And I think that's one of the things I love about pit battles, is because when we actually start discussing stuff like that, it really doesn't go down that route. I mean, there have been a couple instances where somebody really kind of like ripped on somebody's decision, and I feel like that's kind of like a highly grossly underestimation of your opponent, how the community feels about it. So that tends to be the case. What the other times, it's just like some people are just kind of like looking things down and being like, well, this, we've had people like submit like lab videos as a pit battle video. It's not something that was for this purpose. So we've seen that happen. Yes, according to my notes though, it definitely Limit who won that one, so congratulations to Limit on that one. I'm actually trying to remember. I didn't even show you guys the list for the last one. So, oops. Oops. But yep, this is what it looks like. Start of the month. So yep, seeing Limit take that one, that means that he is now going to be number 8. Very nice, getting into top 8. Top 8 is actually pretty tough tough spot to get into. And just see who's stacked on this list right now. Holy crap, it's gonna be intense to see what it looks like at the end of the season. But all right, congratulations to Limit. Now I'm sure Limit probably actually understood where I come from on that, where it's just like, yes, you do have this, but you are still doing a gloving, you know, kind of light show. You know, not rely on certain sequences, things like that. And I know that's probably rich coming from somebody like me. Yeah. Congratulations to you. Next on our list, if I remember correctly, this is the Danny Phantom versus Ripple Effect. So we're gonna start with Corey, and then we're gonna move on to Danny. So that should be a whole lot of fun. But without further ado, Ripple Effect, please show us what you got. Okay. Okay.
Let me see your job.
The energy mode changes, man.
Let me see. I just told her that and then I grabbed some shit.
What is my guy? Know that he fly, know that they ride or die.
Homies, bust my gas, know that they fly, know that they ride or die.
I just cornered the nigga, and then I cracked on his chick. I played the agent at that time. Me and my youngins will forever be up on the rise. Wait,
I just cornered the nigga, and then I cracked on his chick. I played the agent at that time. Me and my
Alright. Okay. I'll say this. One thing I have to point out when it comes to Corey's shows, especially of recent, is that Corey has been doing a really, really good job on making sure he's able to do the things that he's able to do, right? I feel like seeing a lot of his shows, he has the technique down. Like, you can see the concept he's doing, and he's doing it nice and slow. Great. I honestly think one of the things he just needs to work on is just keep doing what he's doing, and just work on getting it to become more fluid. So I definitely will say that Corey has it down slow. Now it's time to make it smooth, and once he makes it smooth, that's when it's going to become fast. There are moments where I do feel like he just needs to kind of get a little bit more comfortable with his corporeal perception, which is, if you don't know, is your perception of a body part in space without you having to look at it. So I can literally tell that my camera, like right here, right? Hold my. I know I'm in front of the camera, but I'm not having to look at it. That's my corporeal, right? I mean, if I turn it this way, I can tell that my finger right or left. Now it's pointing. Yeah, that's what purporting reception is. I feel like when he is like working on stuff, to like move back and forth, like you can tell it's really rough around the edges in that regard. So it's just like learning how to keep the part really still to transfer that energy, keep that isolate. And that's where it's just like you're just nice and slow, and it gets all nice and smooth, right? Start moving fast. So, just things of that nature. But overall, I really do think that Corey's really starting to understand a little bit more of how to build his show from beginning to end. I feel like his structuring of his flow is starting to really come together. That's probably something I also really wanted to highlight. So, really cool song choice as well, I have to admit. But yeah, overall, the shows are getting better. In my opinion, you're starting to see improvements. So I definitely need to give props to Corey on that one. But see how he stacks up to Danny, since Danny's actually just got done with college and he's graduated, so now he is gonna have a little bit more free time before he finds his job to keep doing this, and so he's making his comeback. His return tour to the leaderboards. Let's see if he can actually make it to the top 8 before the end of the year. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and see what we got. So, Danny Phantom, please show us what you got.
All through the time that you know, you don't have to move on or let go. Add to the memory you keep. Remember when you fall asleep. All to the love that you know. You have to give up to let go. Remember time and night. When you feel when you lie. Remember how it was with you. Remember how we felt. All through the time that you know, you don't have to move on or let go.
All right.
Memory you keep. Remember when you fall asleep. All to the love that you know. You don't have to give up to let go.
All right, all right. So this is a video I can definitely say to like Danny now, especially watching it second time, or yeah, about second time. That his this was definitely a show that you can show he had a little bit of rust on him, which is totally fine, like completely normal, especially when it comes to like cramming for finals and all that stuff. So I don't blame him on that. I do really like what he was throwing here. It was a little bit more of better integration. It wasn't so blocked off with his routine, so I felt like he really learned how to switch up and mix up his routines into each other, so it's a lot more integrated rather than you know, step here, step here, step here, step here. I think that's one of the things that people like about free form or freestyling is that you're not having to always follow a sequence. I think that's one of the highlights about clubbing is that people learn to not do the same thing over and over and over again type deal, right? Overall, yeah, this was just excellent show from Danny, and I do have to say that I am pretty happy to see Corey doing really well as he's doing. I really felt like he improved a lot since I've seen his earlier show. So like I will tell him right now, just keep doing what you're doing, Corey. It will become smooth over time. Be practicing every day, which I'm giving you the charity that I'm assuming that you are. You will definitely see yourself improve if you just keep at it. You gotta see more shows from you, okay? Overall though, who won that one? It shouldn't surprise anyone, but yes, it was Danny Phantom that won that one. So congratulations to Danny. I believe this is where Corey actually fell into the graveyard. So definitely recommend Corey to definitely get on the list, dude. Jump back on that list, get going, keep it going, dude. It's pushing you, it's getting you where you need to be. In all honesty, it makes me really excited to see your potential grow. So just keep going, dude. But all right, next up on our list here is Gabagool versus Bimo. I'm actually really excited about this one because I do remember Genghis Wrath asking me if I saw this one, and I told him I haven't seen it yet because I always want to wait for this one. It's always fun to watch my initial reaction to these videos, right? Yeah, really excited about this. So, without further ado, we're just gonna go jump right into it. Gabagool, please show us what you got. All right. I feel like we're listening to Apex Twins right now. Very nice. Very, very, very nice. Really impressed by that. I would certainly say like Gabagool's grid work was just absolutely astounding on that one. Like, I don't know what else to say about it, but like the grid work that I was seeing, especially with his isolations, it's not even like where he was isolated on one point, but like he had a point in the center where his hands literally were operating off of that center point without having to touch each other. So it was very clear in his conveyance on him pointing at it. So really, really cool. I think that was just like one of the coolest things to see right there. Damn. I was pretty much completely mesmerized by that. So yeah, overall, absolutely excellent show for Gabagool. But of course, the question now lies: is that enough to take on BMO? Find out right now. So, BMO, please, without further ado, show us what you got, man. Damn. It's like the longest King Tut thing I've seen BMO throw in a while. Damn. That was absolutely just... That was nutty. That was nutty. What the fuck, dude? Like, in all honesty, that was absolutely insane work from BMO. Okay. This one will be a close call for me to win. Mostly just because, like, one of the things I'll point out in these two shows is that we definitely had this intensity different. Like, BMO definitely brought the energy, he brought the sparkle, he brought the pizzazz. You know, not saying that Gabagool didn't necessarily have that. I feel like he was very much more reserved and methodical, but what he also presented fit with his song a lot more integrated with that. But again, I feel like BMO really brought a whole set of energy that I don't think Gabagool really prepared for, or probably was not prepared for. Because either way, that just feel like he just got annihilated. That was really intense. I mean, like the use of space between you both are really strong, but I think BMO probably just took this not by like a landslide, but man, it really kind of tells me like energy really plays a factor in a pit battle light show. So, oh yeah, no, techniques are strong, flow through is strong. He was all over the place. Surprised he was able to stay in frame the majority of the time with a lot of his stuff. And man, when he goes into his flail combos, just completely insane. But the question is, who won that one? And my notes have told me that it was BMO who won that one. Congratulations to BMO. Unfortunately, Gabagool, you have been knocked down because of him. But who better to lose to than to BMO? You know what I mean? I think it works out for everybody in. Excellent shows from you both, though. It was a great match. This was awesome. I actually enjoyed myself. I was hypnotized by one, and then I was blasted away by another one. Damn, excellent work for me. But yes, moving on from there, we're now getting closer to the end of the night. That going to be between Quantum and Flackenstack. So this one should be interesting. We haven't seen Flackenstack in a good while. So we'll definitely see what he has to bring to the table. Of course, we've seen Quantum on here quite a bit. I would be very, very intrigued to see if he is really taken in, well, I've said on previous occasions, and see where that plays out. So, without further ado, though, Quantum, please show us what you got. Okay. Interesting approach to the musicality, I'll say that right now. All right. A lot more control this time, I will say that right now. That was nice, actually. Ooh, that was good. Alright, that was pretty good actually. I like seeing that. Okay, overall, definitely feel like Quantum did take a good amount of what I said into consideration, and yeah, I feel like he came off way more controlled after that, in the context that he didn't just kind of like digit vomit and just kept going with the same thing over there. Like he actually knew how to switch it up. I feel like he's getting better at his placement when it comes to the backhand stuff, and like how he needs to set his body to pull that off to keep points that he needs to do. So I really like seeing that he's pulling that off. Definitely would recommend just keep practicing in front of a mirror to really make sure that you line up, because there was points where you didn't really line up properly. And I feel like you're really contorting yourself, so you really want to make sure that you're putting your hand placements much more in focus, and kind of avoid like the kind of like getting a little too far ahead of it, like making sure it's not something I know you're doing intentionally, but it's like because you're trying to get yourself in a comfortable position, but trying to like clean up the presentation of doing it, so that way you can pull it off and make sure that your viewer focuses on your hands. I did feel like my eyes were drawn away from your hands a bit, trying to get into these kind of weird positions. Overall though, excellent. I do really like that we kind of generally transitioned with the song. We definitely changed things up for the most part. I definitely would say I would like to see a lot more finger tutting and king tutting from you. I feel like we get into a lot of these creaturey dials and a lot of flails and things. Definitely would like to see a little bit more of a mix up in that regard. Yeah, I definitely would like to see you try your hand at that more to kind of expand on your palette, because I can see where you're very comfortable and you stick with what you're comfortable with. But I definitely would like to see you actually expand on your palette to see where we go from there. Now the question is, does that stack up to what Blackenstack has on? We're gonna find out. So without further ado, please, Blackenstack, show us what you got. All right. Very nice. All right, I see what we're trying there. Ooh. Nice. Very nice. Alright, first of all, I will already tell you, like, you can always hit me up. I'll do the overlay for you. Just let me know, man. Swear to God, if you did the overlay. Even though I do feel like at least you were courteous enough to make sure that the music was close enough to the microphone, picked up a good majority of it. It sounded pretty good on our end, at least from my perspective. I'm telling you, man, you can always hit me up and I'll do the overlay. Trust me. Yeah, I mean, holy crap, dude. That was some intense stuff right there, man. Right off the bat, I can already tell you that there's a lot more of a diversity of concepts within Flag and Stack Show. I do feel like presentation on both ends, on both competitors here, are really strong. I feel like the flow through is also absolutely excellent for both of them. But overall, I feel like there was a lot more stuff going on with Flag and Stack Show than there was. So, and I think that out. I think Quantum probably ekes out just a little bit on the musicality part, but that's just my personal opinion. I just feel like you both are really close together in like these kind of skill sets. But I think overall, I think maybe Flag and Stack probably just by like small percent overall presentation and energy in terms of a light show. A lot more bump to it. Now I'm not just saying that because of the music. There were points where Quantum threw his show and it was crazy. Yeah, really strong energy, but I feel like the overall presentation from Flag Stack probably took it. So let's see what my notes have to say. It says here that it was Flag and Stack who took that one. Congratulations to Flag and Stack. Absolutely excellent work, my guy. Overall, it's a fantastic show. Quantum, like I said, you're doing really, really well. You're doing a lot more control with that. Maybe work on a little bit more of figuring out that angling and how you're placing things and getting comfortable with it, and learning how to incorporate that a little bit more. I like what you're throwing, and it'd be really cool to find yourself in a place where you're a lot more comfortable, so your mobility and presentation of those positions look better. But overall, yeah. The other thing as well, like I said, I would like to see a little bit more like finger tutting and king tutting, like actually get into some more interesting stuff. I feel like we're missing out on stuff like that there. So with that being said, congratulations, Flag Stack. We're going to move on to our final match of the night. Danny Phantom versus Pop-Up. Now, there's something I do need to disclose here. Something that just a personal pet peeve of mine, but I also see there's a reason why we have this in the rules on pit battles. Pop-Up submitted his video via TikTok. The reason why I think everyone kind of goes with YouTube is because one, YouTube actually has better video quality, makes it a lot better to watch things on there, as opposed to TikTok. TikTok has a vertical formatting, and this is not a vertical formatted type of medium for us to use in terms of art. I also see it just being fair that we use the same platform to post our video. I think it's like kind of like even playing field regardless. In that case, mostly just because there's things that do happen on other platforms that don't translate to other. You know, what happens on one platform doesn't necessarily translate to the platform a lot of the time. It's the same thing with like audiences. But yeah. Personal pet peeve that Papa did that, but what at least he submitted on time and stuff. I guess it was one of those last minute deals. I don't know. But it's just one of the things that came up. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see how that plays out. So we're gonna start with Danny and then we'll move on to Pop-Up. So without further ado, Danny Phantom, please show us what you got.
Cigarettes on cigarettes, my mama think I stink. I got burn holes in my hoodies, all my homies think it stink. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. Cigarettes on cigarettes, my mama think I stink.
All right.
I got burn holes in my hoodies, all my homies think it stink. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. Cigarettes on cigarettes, my mama think I stink. I got burn holes in my hoodies, all my homies think it stink. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. I miss my cocoa butter kisses. Okie dokie, I'll keep it low key like toilet roll, or he'll go blow the loudy. Saudi of sour Saudi, Wiley up off the yogi, wildin' like that coyote. If I sip any, my belly just might be outy. Pull up inside a hoodie, start skiing her Dougie. I just opened up the pack and in an hour all ass my lucky. Tonight she just yelling fuck me, 2 weeks she'll be yelling fuck me. Used to like orange cassette tapes with Timmy, Tommy, and Chucky. And Chucky, Jesus pieces, sing Jesus love me. Put Visine inside my eyes so my grandma would fucking hug me. Your generation above me, I know you still remember me. My afro look just like that is, y'all taught me how to go hunting.
Alright. That was a really short video from Danny, but it was way better than the one they did against Corey. And mostly just because with that one, he was a little bit too high up on the frame. I think he was able to correct it. So, really great work. Absolutely excellent show overall. Really strong musicality. I felt like we were trying to keep up, and I felt like you could have probably half-stepped it in terms of your musicality to kind of keep up with it and still like not have to feel like you're rushing it. Because there was times where I really felt like we were kind of rushing through it. But overall, the presentation was a lot better. Really got that rust shaken off, so now there you are. You know what I mean? Yeah, overall, absolutely excellent show. Question is now, does Hop pick up to that? I don't know. Guess we're gonna have to find out here. Like, adjusted. That's how nothing up. So, without further ado, Papa, please. Show us what you got.
We just been smoking the ball, we just been smoking the ball, we just been smoking the ball. When did we pop up? We just been smoking the ball, we don't got no time to roll. I'm always out on the road, she don't got time for a whole little bit of time that we have. We used to purchase a half, it don't be no time to smoke. I'm always throwing on clothes, she always throwing a fit. We don't got no time for no sex, I just put milk in the bowl. She don't be cooking that dough, she just put weed in the bowl. She don't have time for herself, she putting points on the board, yes. You know she carry her own, you know she carry the child. She wake up back at the dawn, she don't be cracking a smile. So when she packing the ball, I grab her, I tell her let.
Okay, I would certainly say I see the musicality a little bit more here.
Break it down, she said, let's do this, slow it down for a second. Break it down, we deserve, a small break. We used to movies and bowl. We used to Netflix and roll. I used to pass her the smoke. She used to laugh at my jokes. You pat my back when I choke. Wish we were stuck in our ways. We way too young to get old. We stuck together like ooh-ops. We smoked to fatty, sing zoo-op. Trap house, big goo-op. I should've knew when I grew up. It would be no time at all. We went from White House to Rolls. We went from joints to a bowl. She need a second to breathe. We need an actual smoke session. Let me grab your back. Slow it down for a second. Take it down, ooh.
Yeah, great concepts, but then it's like, look at this musicality here. Where is it?
I put some ice on your neck, but I ain't holding you back. I spend my time on the road, super ain't saving no walls. I don't have time to patrol.
Okay, yeah, see, it makes me ask so many questions. Like, there was some parts when Papa was throwing, like, I felt like he had good musicality being presented. Then, where did it go? Like, where did it go, yo? It's just, you just kept going, you just ran off with concept dropping. And it makes me kind of question, like, what were we doing there exactly? And like, that's the thing here as well, is that like his concepts are good. He has good concepts. There was some parts where I felt like he was kind of matching up with the lyricality of it, which was like, all right, cool, I can see it. But then we're just kind of like off doing our own thing, and not paying attention to like what the songs do. This is where it's like, okay, I see you putting the title of the song in your video. Like, I can see you putting editing work in your video, but you don't have enough time to overlay. Like, you have the song on your phone, and am I crazy here? Am I being just too much of a stickler about that? I guess I am, maybe. Overall, though, there are some good concepts here. Just, I feel like, well, it's cool to see it. I want to hear it go with the music. I feel like there's so much of a dissonance every time I see this. Yeah, I mean, seeing this again, I definitely go with my judgment of who I thought won, which I definitely thought Danny won this one. And if I check my notes, it was Danny who did win this one. So I want to see Pop work on his musicality. I feel like if he works on his musicality a little bit more, really pay attention to how to like use his concepts with the emphasis of the music, he would come off with a really cool show. Like, his show would actually pop off in my. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I really think one of those things where like this is where your show is lacking, and I think you'll be able to do something about it, right? If you just work on this major thing that you're lacking. I feel like your show would improve 100 times more if you work on your musicality a bit more. Like, there are times where it's on there pretty strongly, but then you drop the ball. Like, that's the best way I can describe all this. So yeah, that was all of our rounds. Let's go ahead and check out who moved where and how the list looks like today. I did take a snapshot of this at the end of the month, so this is what it looks like at the beginning. And if we go ahead and look at current month, bam, we are. So as you can see, we got Bima as number 3 now. Gabble goes down to number 6. Limit made it all the way up to 8 and knocked down Tourmaline down to 13. Holy crap, dude! Like, pretty intense. I mean, Danny Phantom's on here, and unfortunately Ripple Effect is nowhere to be seen. He's down here, so I mean, I definitely would try to call out some of these people. If I can try to get in there, man. I mean, 18 hasn't done anything, Hypnotoad hasn't done anything, Fractal hasn't done anything. These people haven't done anything in here, man. Try to get in there. Yeah, Fly can sack. Getting there. Really good work for him though. I mean, this, looking at this top 8 list right now, pretty good. Pretty interesting to see what would happen. Pretty glad to see that BMO is here. I'm hoping to see the Star Stream where BMO actually try to take Zugswing's position and try to be #1 by the end of the season, but I guess we'll have to wait. Yeah, this is actually a pretty good stock list right here. Definitely would recommend to see some changes going on here, but yeah, if I also look here, I don't see Pop Pop on the list either. I think he also, yep, he fell into the graveyard too. Alright. Well, Pop Pop, Ripple Effect, you know what I've said in here. This is what my notes are for you guys to work on and keep it going, and hopefully you guys try to make it in there. If you guys can at least make it on the list by the end of the year, it'd be cool, you know. Other than that, yeah, that is our month of June for ranked pit battles. I'm actually really excited to see. I know we probably have a couple of people doing some callouts already for the month of July. I know July is pretty busy for a lot of people. I mean, middle of 4th of July weekend. What does that tell you? You know what I mean? Yeah, no, there's a couple of places that there's already one call out so far, and that's from Any. That should be interesting. I'm really interested to see how that plays out. Yeah, to wrap things up, it looks like we're gonna have an interesting time going on here with pit battles. I'm telling you, it's gonna be some wild stuff by the end of this. I have gotten back on working on my video since, you know, it's been kind of crazy. I did tell myself I was going to try to make some major headway on my video now to try to get it done by the end of this year so I can just get it off my plate. I know I have been trying to get Loving Table Talks back off the ground. It's been really tough lately with a lot of stuff going on. I mean, this coming Monday I gotta take Jason down to one of his job sites because he has people starting to work there, so he has to be down there to meet them, get that going. It's gonna be some wild times for me, but I'm hoping that I can actually get that started. Other than that, definitely going to reevaluate how I make my videos going forward, especially since this one that I decided to make is basically a feature length film. I was not intending I didn't think it was going to take me this long. So I am going to try to make some major, I feel like I actually made some major headway in it. I mean, I'm approaching the hour mark already. I'm already at the 50-minute mark, so I'm actually going to be approaching the hour. So I mean, I'm going to be over the hump, over the halfway point. Yeah. Other than that, certainly hope you guys enjoyed what I had to show you in this one. Been going on for it's a good hour and a half now. Pretty crazy, so can't really say much else. I certainly hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Definitely keep your eye out for when I do put up my video. I'm hoping to get done with that here pretty soon, if I just hunker down, get off my ass, and actually get done. Hopefully, if I have to like pull up some late nighters to really work and get it done, yes, once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out. Really helpful. That's what I try to do, and I hope to catch you all in my next one. If not, see you by next month.